Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Dan. You call me Dubs. I want to do an official hashtag walkaway video. I love hashtag walkaway campaign because mainly it lets people know that you're not alone. It's comprised of people from all different kinds of walks of life and political views and social views. Its founder, Brandon Straka, he's a former Democrat, liberal, gay man who moved away from the left, and that's one thing that everybody in the hashtag walk away has in common. They all moved away from the left, or in some cases the left moved away from them because the left has just grown so radical. So what it did was it gave people a voice and it gave people an outlet to let them know that they're not alone. Because what the left, the radical left, and the media will do to you, they'll make you question yourself. They'll make you question your sanity. I remember when I first started questioning my own political views, I thought I was going crazy. I said, how could people not comprehend this? How could people not see this? It can't just be me, is it? And there was things like the hashtag walkaway campaign and many others as well that inspired me to make my own videos and put information out there that was anti-radical left and, more conservative, just to combat the constant barrage of the left-wing propaganda that's constantly out there, the censorship that we see on a daily basis from everybody, the cancel culture. I can't see this anymore, and I couldn't not do anything. So I said, what the hell? So what I did was I actually came across an old Facebook post of mine from 8 years ago, right before the 2012 election. I was a two-time Obama voter, and especially in 2012, I was a notorious fence sitter. I always had some conservative leanings and views, but I never affiliated with either party. I still don't. I'm an independent, but I definitely, especially in my younger years, had some left-leaning views as well. So I was going to school for political science and public administration, and I was just starting to get into it, and I didn't really have as much knowledge as I have now, or as much world experience, obviously. And I was really disillusioned, actually, with the lack of compromise within the government. And at the time, all I saw was it seemed as though that that Congress, which was Republican, were just completely stonewalling Barack Obama just to be, just to be negative, just to be partisan. So I was, like I said, I was very disillusioned with that. And as embarrassing as as it is to look at old posts and old Facebook posts and stuff like that, I'm going to read this for you guys just so you can see that I was definitely further left than I am now, and I voted for Democrats, and I was unhappy with the Republicans and the right, not understanding why anything was happening. So also, just for some context, I had just gotten into a bunch of different arguments with people about them being single-issue voters, but people who just only wanted to vote because of legalizing marijuana, or they just wanted to vote for more frivolous things like that, as opposed to looking at the broader picture and weighing the pros and cons of each policy as it pertained to them in its totality. Not that, so I'm not saying that people shouldn't vote for what's best for them. I was kind of saying don't just vote on one thing. All right, so I'm going to read this for you guys real quick. So I said, don't vote for what you want. Vote for what we need. We exist as a group. What is best for you as an individual may be worse for us as a country. Americans once understood that. Be a student of history. Men of both Republican and Democrat parties have led our country to our highest highs and drove us to our lowest lows. If you consider yourself a Republican or a Democrat, that's fine. But do not be afraid to vote outside your party if that person is better for us as a whole. Remember, men of Republican and Democrat parties collectively put us in this predicament. Therefore, we need men of both parties who will cooperate with each other to redeem us. If your senator or congressman refuses to vote with the president that we have, do not vote for them. Deliberation and greed are two different things we cannot afford. Are two things we cannot afford. So, also, when I'm saying men, I mean like this, like, man in general. Of course, there's great women, congresswomen, and women in politics in general. I'm a fan of Elise Stefanik, upstate New York. Kayleigh McEnany's great. I don't know why I was putting that, but you can see that I was very disillusioned, and I didn't like the party. I didn't like people that were just voting strictly based on party lines without actually, comprehending on what was better. So I didn't really understand that the Republican Congress were stonewalling Barack Obama because he was doing a lot of unconstitutional things. He was becoming more and more radical as his administration grew on. So I didn't understand that. And as I got older, I started to gain some more conservative views, and I also started to go down that rabbit hole even further and just reading and following everything and taking that red pill. And it finally came to a head for me during the Ferguson riots. I was really blown away and astonished at how the media were just an extension of the Democrat Party. I would watch something live, and then I would watch the corresponding media coverage, and it would not be the same. And I would say, that's not what happened. I just watched it. That's not what this person said. Or that's not what's going on here. And I could see that they're trying to lead you. Then I would see that the Democrat politicians and media pundits all would have the exact same talking points. I mean, exactly. Like somebody sent them out an email and said, read from this. This is our talking point today. And these are supposed to be independent people, independent from one another. And they were reading for verbatim the same exact talking points. And then, like I said, finally, Ferguson happened. And the story was that Michael Brown was just minding his own business, and the officer, Darren Wilson, stopped him. And somehow Michael Brown was on his knees with his hands up, begging for his life, and Darren Wilson just executed him. I said, that cannot be. I said, that can't be this full story. I need more evidence than what we have, which was nothing. You got to show me something. But they didn't. The media not only poured gasoline on the fire, they poured jet fuel. They poured the most combustible fuel you can possibly get on top of this fire. And then the Obama administration, Obama himself came out against the police. And I'm a law enforcement supporter. I'm a military supporter. And I'm watching this and I'm like, what am I watching here? And I was astonished. I was blown away. So I said, I can't do this anymore. I will never, ever vote for the Democrat Party again. Ever. Look at them. We should not have 95% of our nation's independent, unbiased, objective media working with one of the major political parties in the country. Why does the United States of America have like Soviet-era Russian propaganda? This is insane. So from there, it just snowballed, and I went down that rabbit hole 100 miles an hour, and then I never looked back. So I will never, ever go left again, and I can't. It's not to say that classify myself as a Republican or anything else. I'll always vote for who I think is the best choice, but it definitely is not the left. It definitely is not the people who encourage riots in our streets and who willfully ignore reality. That's all you have now. Now we have people that they'll ignore reality, or they will refuse to admit it because they do not want to challenge their own political beliefs. They don't want to challenge their worldview. It's easier for them to change and distort what we all see as an objective fact. This way, they don't have to admit that they're wrong, or admit that they're backing the wrong team or the wrong side, or because their side advocates for something that they think is amazing, like legalizing marijuana or abortions or whatever the case is. So they'll go ahead and just willfully ignore all that's bad about them, just to justify their own position, whether it's to other people or in their head, instead of challenging their position and say, wait, I don't think I can support this anymore. This is insane. So hashtag walkaway gave so many people, it showed them rather that they were not alone. There's millions of others just like us out there who are not crazy, who don't want that, don't want anything to do with the radical left anymore. They come from all walks of life, all races, religions, and creeds, and I think it's great. That's why I love it. And especially as a Trump supporter, we want everybody on our side. LGBTQ, any race, whatever race you are, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, men, women, we want you on our side. We want to get people away from that radicalism, the socialist, radical, globalist theory, the critical race theory, that all that craziness. So, guys, thank you for letting me share this with you. Thanks for sticking with me, and have a good one.